You won't believe these things are in the Bible. And when you look closely, you can learn a lot from these events. Everything in the Bible has something it teaches you, and there is something you can learn from it. We're going to look at these different lives, and you won't believe what happens. Well, let's look at the life of Jacob. We all know the story of Jacob. If you need to go read about it, you can find it in the book of Genesis. Yeah, Genesis chapter 27. But let's start from Isaac. Isaac was a son to Abraham, and Isaac gave birth to two twins, that is, Jacob and Esau. Now let's look at Jacob. We know how Jacob deceived his father Isaac just so he can get the blessings that belonged to Esau. What Jacob did, together with his mother conniving, killed a goat, did the precious meal, served it to the father, and then used goat's skin to cover himself so he can have a smooth skin like that of his brother. And just like that, he stole his father's blessing. Let's read there. When Isaac had become an old man and was nearly blind, he called his eldest son, Esau, and said, "My son." "Yes, father, I'm an old man," he said. "I may die any day now. Do me a favor. Get your quiver of arrows and your bow and go out in the country, and hunt for me some game. Then fix me a hearty meal, the kind that you know I like, and bring it to me to eat so that I can give you my personal blessing before I die." Rebekah was eavesdropping as Isaac spoke to his son Esau. As soon as Esau had gone off to the country to hunt game for his father, Rebekah spoke to her son Jacob. "I just overheard your father talking with your brother Esau," he said. "Bring me some game and fix me a hearty meal so that I can eat and bless you with God's blessing before I die. Now, my son, listen to me. Do what I tell you. Go to the flock and get me 2 young goats. Pick the best. I'll prepare them into a hearty meal, the kind that your father loves. Then you will take it to your father. He'll eat and bless you before he dies." "But mother," Jacob said, "my brother Esau is a hairy man, and I have smooth skin. What happens if my father touches me? He'll think I'm playing games with him. I'll bring down a curse on myself instead of a blessing." "If it comes to that," said his mother, "I'll take the curse on myself. Now, just do what I say. Go and get the goats." So he went and got them and brought them to his mother, and she cooked a hearty meal, the kind his father loved so much. Rebekah took the dress-up clothes of her oldest son Esau and put them on her younger son Jacob. She took the goat skins and covered his hands and the smooth nape of his neck. Then he placed the hearty meal she had fixed and fresh bread she'd baked into the hands of her son Jacob. He went to his father and said, "My father." "Yes," he said. "Which son are you?" Jacob answered his father, "I am your firstborn son Esau. I did what you told me. Come now, sit up and eat of my game, so you can give me your personal blessing." Isaac said, "So soon? How did you get it so quickly?" "Because your God cleared the way for me," Isaac said. "Come close, son. Let me touch you. And are you really my son, Esau?" So Jacob moved close to his father Isaac. Isaac felt him and said, "The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau." He didn't recognize him because his hands were hairy like his brother Esau's. But as he was about to bless him, he pressed him. "You are sure? You are my son Esau?" "Yes, I am," Isaac said. "Bring the food so I can eat of my son's game and give you my personal blessing." Jacob brought it to him and he ate. He also brought him wine and he drank. Then Isaac said, "Come close, son, and kiss me." He came close and kissed him, and Isaac smelled the smell of his clothes. Finally he blessed him. "Oh, the smell of my son is like the smell of the open country blessed by God. May God give you of heaven's dew and earth's bounty of grain and wine. May people serve you and nations honor you. You will master your brothers, and your mother's sons will honor you. Those who curse you will be cursed. Those who bless you will be blessed." And then right after Isaac had blessed Jacob and Jacob had left, Esau showed up from the hunt. Now, you'll think this is over, right? It's not. After Jacob deceives his father, at this time, Isaac was 130 years old when he got deceived by Jacob. Time passed, and Jacob now is an old man having these children. By this time, he was called Israel. His name has been turned from Jacob to Israel. And the similar thing happened to him. Like he too got lied to the same way he lied to his father, if not in a much worse way. Now, in his case, he had his favorite child, who was Joseph. The reason Joseph was his favorite is because Joseph was from his wife Rachel, who he loved most. First, Jacob gets deceived by his uncle Laban. He works 7 years to marry Rachel, and the Laban deceives him. Instead, he poses off Leah to be married to Jacob in a place of Rachel, only for Jacob to wake up in the morning and boom, he's got Leah, known to Rachel, and he's furious. He goes like, why did you deceive to me? Forgetting he did the exact same thing to his father by lying and acting like just because his father was not seeing at the time. Now it's being done to him. He's being lied to in a much higher gravity. And then Laban goes, the custom here says the younger cannot marry before the older. And that was not the only thing that Laban cheated Jacob over. Laban cheated Jacob over so many times. He changed his wages so many times. He really, really had a hard time at the hands of Laban. But then as time rolled, in his old age, after he has now worked for Rachel 7 more years, he's gotten 2 wives, Rachel and Leah. Now he has to leave. He left Laban's home and he's on his own, raised his kids. Now in his old age, while they were in the land of Canaan, Jacob loved Joseph because Joseph was given birth to him by Rachel in his old age. By the time Rachel gave birth to Joseph, Jacob was 77 years old. And so now, when Joseph was 17 years, Jacob knitted for him a coat of many colors. And while his brothers were out tending to sheep and goats, Joseph is sent to send them some food. And when they saw him, they didn't like him because first of all, he was a dreamer with these big dreams that God gave him, that he's going to be a ruler someday. And his brothers were not so happy about all those dreams. You can't be that younger child in the family who the future looks so bright for you and not everybody is so happy. It's common, right? His brothers decide to sell him off. They first threw him in a pit, thought of killing him. Then Judah brought a brilliant suggestion. He said, why should we kill the lad? We can sell him and make money. Because they saw some Ishmaelites passing by and they were like, let's sell him to these guys. We can make some money and let's not kill him. After all, he's our brother, right? Brilliant, right? Well, the brothers agreed. They sold him. And what did they do after that? Reuben comes, finds that the brother is not in the pit he was thrown in. But then they tell him the story. They go like, you know what? Reuben says, what am I going to tell my father? They say, that's simple. They get the coat, kill a goat, get some blood, sprinkle on the coat. Now, you realize the relationship here. Jacob used blood and goat's skin to deceive his father. Now, another goat's blood is being used to deceive another father, only that this time it's Jacob himself who is going to be at the receiving end of deceit. So they do a good job, cover up the coat, take it to Jacob and be like, can you look at this coat? We just found this. Could you recognize it? Could it be your son's coat? And of course, Jacob recognized it immediately and wept bitterly because now he has lost the son that he loved most, that his wife, that Rachel left him, because Rachel had died at this point. Now, what do you learn here? What you reap, you sow. If you reap good things, you sow them. If you reap evil, you saw it. When I read the Bible, literally I see it, like whatever these guys, everybody, whatever they sowed, it came back to them. Good measure, pressed down, shaking together, running over, in good things and even in bad things. Because you see, Jacob lies to his father. Jacob gets lied to several times. So, while we leave this earth, let's just not live life anyhowly. Do to others what you want them to do to you. Treat other kids how you want your kids to be treated. Treat other people how you want those you love to be treated. Because what you're doing now to someone else will be done to someone you treasure the most in probably a much bigger way. Because what you invest in this world, you reap it back. A good measure pressed down. Let's sow kindness. Let's be good to others. Let's care for others. Let's treat others the way we want to be treated. Let's sow good things. That's it for today, guys. Tell me, do you think this makes sense in today's world? Because I see a lot of choices that resemble our life today, and I want to learn from it. Well, next time, I'm going to be sharing with you in a similar trend, but this time we're going to be looking at other Bible characters and how this concept of what they sowed, they reaped back, worked. Because we tend to think it only works on good things. It works for bad things too. If you lie if you are the employee who is always lying to your boss, you're going to open your company and your employees will lie to you in a much bigger way. If you are that employee who is always swindling company funds, always lying and stealing company money, you'll be that owner of the company who they'll be stealing from. And I know some people who never think things are being spoken to them. So while you're listening to this, you're telling yourself, yeah, so that means the boss who I'm stealing from must have stolen a lot. The reason that you're the person hearing this, it means God wanted you specifically to be the one to hear. So the message is for you, not for the people you know, not for the friend you heard about. It's for you to learn and do some self-reflection and ask yourself, am I putting out in the world what I want to receive from the world? Well, that's it to you guys. We'll talk again. How do I end? I'll see you tomorrow. Today is Wednesday.